Now we come to the challenge that Tybalt gives Romeo because he wants to kill him for attending the ball. You might remember the conversation that Tybalt had with Mercutio, where he says, "Thou consortest with Romeo." Mercutio makes a big deal about this, because by using this language, Tybalt is suggesting that Mercutio and Romeo are lovers. More about that in my guide if you're interested. But because that conversation has happened just before Romeo says these words, when he talks about having love for Tybalt, this feels as though Romeo is telling Tybalt that he is sexually attracted to him. It sounds like a way of mocking him. Now, interestingly, there was no such word as homosexual. There wasn't a concept of homosexuality in Shakespeare's time. It wouldn't be unusual for young men to explore a sexual passion with each other. Men were simply expected to put this aside once they got married. But in Tybalt's hyper-masculine world that's obsessed with masculine honour, it's treated as an insult. So how much is Romeo to blame for this? Well, let's go to my guide again. Romeo could simply have replied with the words beginning at villain. "Villain am I none," he could have said. He didn't have to put in that bit about loving Tybalt. This would be a factual reply, and it would be impossible to misunderstand. A villain did not have the modern meaning of a criminal. It was an insult about class and status. A villain was a person of low birth status, with no manners or refinement. In our society, or at least 10 years ago, we would have called them a chav. But this insult had much more power in Elizabethan society because it was such a class-based society, and because gentlemen in particular were expected to display ritualised good manners. It was part of these good manners that led Romeo to say he loved Tybalt. But he goes on to repeat this love twice more. To Tybalt, the only logical explanation is that Romeo is mocking his sexuality. This arguably causes the rage, which encourages him to fight Mercutio, and then to stab Mercutio dishonourably while Mercutio was not prepared. So now Shakespeare is implying that homophobia is also part of the cause of the tragedy. So not only has Romeo given us an insight into Shakespeare's attitude towards racism, now we've got homophobia being criticised as a cause for the tragedy. What a modern play. And if you'd like to get much better at Romeo and Juliet without buying my guide, click on one of the videos appearing somewhere up there or there. See you soon on my channel.